One Zambia, one nation. Good evening. You're now watching Zanis News with me, Ethel Chanda. Top stories in the news. Government distributes relief maize to people living with disabilities in Kasanengwa. REA to connect Kanyambo village in Chelenge at 3.5 million kwacha. And fencing of broken human site in Kabwe ex-residents. Government says it is aware of some reports of hunger in Kasanengwa district and will do everything possible to mitigate the situation. Eastern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Piri says so far 201 metric tons of relief maize has been allocated to the district to cushion the problem. Ms. Piri said this at Ngongwe Trading Center when she distributed relief maize to people living with disabilities. Mutinta Mwimba has more in the following report.
Government has disbursed a total of 5,220 by 50 kg bags of white maize to cushion hunger in Kasanengwa district following the poor harvest recorded in some parts of the district last year. 20% of the maize has been allocated to the vulnerable, such as the disabled and the terminally ill, among others, while 80% will be given as food for work. Eastern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Piri was in the district to witness the distribution of relief maize to the physically challenged.
Ise pankania lilifu bo malahaka inde tituma kuti woyamba ni machansatu amene sali bwino yayi boma ikukondani kwambiri mukalira ngati boma tikumva mwense mkadandaula kuli boma tense chita bwanji tikumva tizibwera amayi mobwezera tero mobwezera kuti msitiona nthawi zonse sitero koma mzikumbukira kuti boma ikuchita bwanji ikukondani.
The beneficiaries have thanked government for coming to their aid.
Soma ichi tuyamikira kwambiri kuti boma ya UPND ni boma yokumbwa madandaulo ya bantu. Mwaichi moyimirira grupu yonse kuno tuyamikira kwambiri kuti mupitirije ndipo musalekere pamene apa zikomo.
Ms. Piri also expressed disappointment with the behavior of some people entrusted to shortlist the names of beneficiaries.
Izi zimene zichitika mbanja kuti a sister, a brother, agamuna bao ndiwatenga vakudya valilifu viteretu. Nzeru zoipa zotakalembesa vena mulembesa banja imozi na imozi. Bantu wose mpanja imozi. Tuamene alibe chakudya sachiwona chakudya chifuka chakuti mufuno patsana po bale bwanu msianzana ruvutika alibe vakudya. Mupasaso vakudya vajali ndalama yomwe.
The distribution of relief maize in the district will go a long way in mitigating the hunger situation, as most families used to depend on mangoes, which are now out of season. Mutinta Mwemba reporting for Zanis in Kasanengwa district, Eastern Province.
Meanwhile, in Central Province, Kabwe District Commissioner Lennox Shumwambwa has expressed anger at some people buying subsidized egos and Kalonga meal for resale at inflated prices in the townships. The district commissioner says the act is against government's efforts of ensuring that people have access to cheap and affordable step food. Kelvin Tembo now reports.
Unscrupulous traders in Kabwe have continued buying subsidized egos and Kalonga milling meal for resale at exorbitant prices in the townships. The traders are using small boys from the streets to buy the meal, which they then transport to their trading places. Where District Commissioner Lennox Shumwambwa has called this a fight against government's efforts to ensure citizens have access to affordable meal.
We are fighting government.
He has since warned chain stores against selling more than one bag to each client.
I think we're here at ShopRite in Bushimo, where we found junkies being well coordinated by some businessmen to try and put a meal together to go and resell from a price of 225, 230, and they are taking once more into stores for 330 in the compounds. The same individuals, they come back and start denouncing government. So we have directed the management here at ShopRite to say that we can only sell one bag at a time. And I think that is the direction we're going to go.
Sachimwambwa further urged the stores not to allow children from the streets to buy mealie meal.
Not to allow junkies from coming into the store to come and sabotage government programs, because then they are an accomplice to the crime. So we have spoken to the manager very strongly, and we've said they need to support governments. Where you see me, myself, I cannot buy even more than 2 bags. Why should a junkie buy 3 bags? And they allow that. So we're not going to allow things like that. So it's a warning that we are sending to the public to say that we will not accept this sort of impunity. People are crying over the price of mealie meal. Government has provided Kalonga, government has provided Eagles mealie.
Kelvin Tembo for Zanis in Kabwe, Central Province.
In other news, Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa says government is committed to support the operations of the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis, in order for it to effectively carry out its mandate. Mr. Mwetwa said Zanis is the biggest media agency in the country, but that it is incapacitated with different challenges that makes it difficult for it to carry out its mandate of interpreting government's policies to the Zambian people. The minister said this when he conducted a tour of Zanis headquarters offices in Lusaka. More in the following report.
Minister of Information and Media, Cornelius Mwetwa, today visited the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis headquarters in Lusaka. Mr. Mwetwa first met heads of departments, where Zanis Director, Lois Saili, briefed the minister on the operations of the department.
Our mandate is one, to interpret government policy to the people of Zambia. For instance, when government brings a program like CDF, it's our job as Zanis to go out, explain to the people what CDF is all about, how they can access funding, how this funding will benefit them, how it will create employment, how it will change their lives. And that is exactly what we are doing, Minister.
We have districts where we have offices, we don't have equipment. Even the desk where the officers to sit. So if we can be helped in those areas, really we shall be grateful, and the impact will be seen.
The minister, who is also government spokesperson, reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the department.
This new Dawn administration is focusing on CDF. And for CDF to work, Zanis must show where CDF is working or is not working and be able to understand the reasons why. So for that reason, I commit that the issues you have raised, we will attend to them, and I hope you have a written document so that I will tomorrow be able to put up a concept note on issues that require to be dealt with by government, so that next year, this year, we should not talk about those same issues. Let us have other challenges.
Mr. Mwetwa later toured the department from the newsroom to the maintenance department. Later, the minister addressed the employees and urged management to regulate the accreditation of journalists in the country.
Those documents you call press pass that identify who a journalist is, from which institution, to assist us in these engagements that we have, so that we know that we are dealing with the right people.
Mrs. Saili assured the minister that she will ensure that the accreditation of journalists is well implemented.
It's an issue that we have already discussed. Just about 2 weeks ago, I was signing off a number of press passes for our own reporters here and from other media institutions. Even this month, Minister, we have profile actually to procure more press passes so that we can service as many of our colleagues from both public and private media.
Jane Simalumba, Zanis in Lusaka.
We continue with the news. The Rural Electrification Authority is set to connect electricity to 250 households, a chief's palace, and a local court at a cost of over 3.5 million kwacha in Kanyembo village in Chelenge district. This follows the site handover of the Kanyembo Grid Intensification Project to Beltec Enterprise Limited. Here is a report.
To increase access to electricity in rural areas, the Rural Electrification Authority REA is set to implement the Kanyembo Grid Intensification Project. The project, which will be done in 112 days, will see the electrification of 250 households, Chief Tennis Kanyembo's new palace, and the local court. Chilenge District Administrative Officer Kateyelengwe officiated at the signing of the project between RIA and Beltec Enterprise Limited. Area Councillor Geshom Chileshe has commended government for responding to the plea of the community.
Ilelo bushku bwansansa ubo twinga totela ubuteko okubomba. Uku ekubomba okubomba obuteko bwino because irresponse yakubika amalaiti mwakanyembo tachaya ngwiki okubika pashabo na muno. Amalaiti alino okuba kwakanyembo kwakushabo fe kweka ero mbabaye baba mwatati ni shiria ba buteko bwinga shira pano ero bwaya atoloka bwaya bika kushabo baria baye berelembe ni kalata iyo yaide kulusaka ubuteko tabuko kwere mukampampa fye wachitana respond ichi chirangiro chimwe chire mono kutira ubuteko bule bomba no buteko bwatuletera obyantanshi muno mwakanyembo.
Yvonne Nombo reporting for Zanis News in Chilenge District.
Meanwhile, a Senga Hill resident, Maureen Nshiwe, is concerned about charcoal being exported to neighboring Tanzania. Ms. Mushiwe has since called on the government to stiffen the law on illegal charcoal trading to mitigate the negative effects of climate change being experienced in some parts of the country. And Senga Hill District Commissioner Elizabeth Goma has appealed to the residents to protect nature. Namsokwe Wembia now reports.
Zambia has not been spared from the harsh effects of climate change. This is evidenced by the droughts being experienced in selected parts of the country. To mitigate the adverse effects of climate change, government through the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment has been implementing various programs.
We call afforestation, deforestation. So this just involves the planting of trees to ensure that we increase on the vegetation and then carry out what we call forest breeds patrols. So these patrols are there to ensure that people comply with the regulations. That is the Forest Act number 4 of 2015, which gives us the guidelines in terms of utilization of forest resources. All those that are found wanting are brought to book. And we have formed a number of environmental clubs in schools that is helping us disseminate information even to pupils.
And the district administration is aware of the effects.
I'm actually appealing to everyone, not only in Senga district, also elsewhere, to make sure that we have trees. Where we have no trees, these natural trees, let's just try to plant some trees around, even around our homes. When we have a bigger field, for instance, like if I can have 2,000 hectares of land, I may utilize maybe 1,000. Let's leave the other 1,000 just for trees in order for us to combat this climate change. Trees are very, very important in our lives, and if we don't preserve the trees, then we'll continue having no rains, and that will really affect our nation.
Meanwhile, Senga residents had this to say.
Mumpanga eshirere ngati twira kwa temfula munchende shapusana pusana so twire twamba ukosereshanya paranga twafunyapo echimuti twabule echimuti chindi twachitashani twapyanikisha pakwe bati taturechura sana nemfula pantu ngatamba kuchura nemfula emfula etuletere fyakula muno muchalo.
Zanis in Senga Hill, Namsokwe Wembia.
Still in the news, paving of Kaoma main bus station at a cost of 140,000 kwacha is progressing with over 90% of works done so far. The paving of the bus station has been made possible through an equalization fund under the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Mutinta Mbagwe now reports.
With the coming in of the new Dawn government, many people are expectant of various developmental projects, including the citizens of Kaoma. Among the projects satisfying the people is the paving of the Kaoma main bus station. To their surprise, the work that was supposed to be done in 1 month's time according to the contract, delayed and people are running out of patience. Kaoma Town Council answers the people's questions to why work has delayed.
The one month period that was given to the contractor to complete the works, I think during that period, that 1 month period, almost 3 weeks, that's the time when we are experiencing the heavy downpour. And I think within that 3 weeks, there was little that was being done in terms of works in the bus station. That is the main reason why we couldn't complete the works during that duration. We want to state that by next week, Thursday, our bus station will be open to the general public.
The people are happy about the development and have argued the council to make sure that the station opens soon.
I encourage them to work hard so that to move on very fast, because it's been for a long time now since they started this project. Because by this time when they are operating here now, we're not even receiving any bus. But again, as we depend on buses on it.
The paving contract was given at a sum of 60,000 kwacha, while the grading cost 80,000 kwacha. This brings the total amount to 140,000 kwacha. This project was done through the Local Government Equalization Fund under the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Clarence Chuaya, reporting for Zanis in Kaoma District of Western Province.
And in Northwestern Province, traditional leaders in Mshindamo District have implored Solwezi East Member of Parliament Stanford Mlusa to support the consent that was signed by stakeholders to establish the Central Business District in Kafulabunga area. This follows the statement made by the MP during the commissioning of the Mshindamo police station that stakeholders must select another area for the establishment of the CBD because Kafulabunga lies within the Kafue headwaters. Details in the following report by Chisandi Mwenge.
Since Mshindamo was declared a district in 2015, stakeholders settled for Kafulabunga as an area to be an administration center. However, the land in question needs to be degazetted for it to be open for infrastructure development, and since it has taken many years, Area Member of Parliament had called on the stakeholders to choose a different area. Some chiefs living within this area have called for a press briefing to air their grievances over this matter.
The MP has announced that we have shifted the CBD from Kafulabunga to another place. Can he show us the letter that we signed as chiefs? Because he said the 4 chiefs signed, only 1 is remaining. Can he show us where we sat down and he produced that concept of a letter?
Let's have a CBD at Kafulabunga. Besides, where you are saying Mikiri, is that a more central place for the 4 lumber chiefs? Huh? You had done geography, most of you here. Could you check at this map of Mushinda and say that is the central place? Convince us.
And in a separate interview, Mshindamo District Commissioner explains government policy on degazation.
Our chiefs were engaged and they came up with an area which all agreed to put up a CBD, and that was Kafulabunga. This area, the MP is the one who spearheaded for the construction of a CBD in Kafulabunga, and they supported it to the fullest. When the technical committee reported back to the nation, is where they found that the area in question is sitting in the forest reserve. Since the government is championing the climate change issue, it has become a bit difficult for the government to come up with a decision of degazetting that area.
Sandy Mwenge for Zanis in Moshindamo District, Northwestern Province.
We move to Northern Province, where the Zambia Flying Doctor Service has expressed happiness with the overwhelming response from communities in Luwingu District who are turning up to access the health services during the ongoing outreach programs. Zambia Flying Doctor Service Luwingu Outreach Team Leader Mukukankole says people have turned up to access specialized health services at the various centers where the team is working from. Geoffrey Piri gives us more in this report.
Access to secondary health care remains a challenge for many people, especially in remote areas. This is why the Zambia Flying Doctor Service is supplementing the effort of the Ministry of Health by providing free specialized services to people in hard-to-reach places. The service has set its base in Luwingu District, where it is offering specialized services to the public, as Dr. Mkukankole, the team leader, explains.
We've seen a number of patients and the community are happy. If we can do such outreaches often to reach everyone, I think it will give us a good feedback to the people. So we've seen quite a number, medical cases, ophthalmology, dental, gyne, and in some cases, obstetric cases.
The team also conducted some surgeries on orthopedic patients.
It's a good thing that these patients are able to be followed. For instance, for open fracture, by the time they're getting to specialized centers like Ndola Teaching Hospital or Kito Teaching Hospital, that have spent more than 4 days. And that period is not good for infection because the wound is open to the world.
The community is satisfied with the service they have received.
So ili na chisa tuamunana na ba doctor problem yandikwena bapuisha bampela kona ma leading glass ya kutinde bomfya kwati echisa mkulenga sana.
Luwingu District Commissioner Chomba Chileshe has encouraged the Zambia Flying Doctor Service to continue servicing rural areas.
Really appreciating you for the work that you are doing, especially to our people in those communities, because it is very difficult for them to come to the district hospital to access some medical services. But for you going there, it means a lot to them as well as to our district.
Geoffrey Piri reporting for Zanis in Luwingu District.
As we end the news, the site where the broken human skull was discovered has allegedly been fenced, restricting the people of Kawe access to the historical site, which traces the evolution of mankind. The local people are calling on the government to open up the place to attract tourists to the area, which was declared a national monument. But Kawe District Commissioner Lennox Shimwambwa says the area was leased to 2 mining firms who are carrying out mining activities. Shupekile Nkunika brought us this report.
It is a heritage site where the first historically significant human fossil was found in Africa. This is the site where the broken human was discovered in 1921. The discovery of the broken human traces certain aspects of the evolution of mankind from Homo habilis. This made Broken Hill, now Kabwe Town, an important center in the study of the theory of evolution. 2 mining firms are conducting mining activities within the premises, and access to this historical site is restricted.
What they call artisanal licenses, which is a 6.5 hectare license that they have through the Ministry of Mines, and this has been confirmed even from ourselves here. We have seen those documents.
Kabwe District Commissioner Lennox Shimwambwa is concerned.
Maybe to make an appeal to the Commission to say that maybe they could request the person that they give the consent to, maybe to try and take off the gate and the wall, so that maybe members of the public, or indeed even our tourists, local tourists and international tourists, could maybe freely walk in and just view the sites.
The local people are not able to access the national monument.
Kuda kumaini ko bazangire chintu kwa twazanga kwa tinche bantu bale bombirako
so chalibe chashupa sana wati titwayako twayamona.
Hlupekile Nkonika for Zanis in Kabwe.
Before we go, a look at the headlines once again. Government distributes relief maize to people living with disabilities in Kasanengwa. Rear to connect Kanyembo village in Chelenge at 3.5 million kwacha. And fencing of broken human site in Kabwe ex-residents. That's all we had on Zanis News. Thank you so much for watching.